So with European football set to start this upcoming weekend, it's only right if we give our predictions for the Mexican players abroad. So we want to shout out Tactical Manager for giving us this idea. He did it for the USMNT. So make sure if you're a USMNT fan or interested in seeing what he said, links down below to his channel. And so these are the categories. So starting off, top goal scorer. Which Mexican will be the highest goal scorer abroad this upcoming season?
I'm going to go with the obvious. I mean, there's not a lot, bro. There's really not a lot of options. But so for me, I'm going to go with Santi Jimenez. I think you are the main guy at Milan. You need to perform. I'm expecting a breakout year. Like, he's done historically well against Serie A teams. When he was at Feyenoord, I believe he scored like 8 goals against Serie A teams, and he wasn't even in Serie A because I think he scored like a bunch against Lazio and Roma in the Champions League, Europa League, whatever. And then last year it wasn't that bad. I think he had like 6 goals, right? And on like 19 games, like one every 3. I'm expecting. I'm gonna throw a prediction out there. I'm expecting 22 goals, 22 plus goals from Santi, and I don't think. I mean, who are the other options? Like Raúl Jimenez. I don't think he'll get 22 in the Prem or in all comps, in my opinion. So I think Santi will be that guy. I believe he'll get the most goals this season. He has to, bro. He has to.
That is the obvious answer, but I think you're pushing it with 22 goals. That'd be a spectacular season. A 22 goal season for Milan, that could prompt him to go to an even bigger team after that. But yeah, he is the right answer. He is the only number 9 AC Milan have right now, so he does have a bit of pressure to perform this upcoming season. But Allegri, the new AC Milan manager, and with the few signings they've got, I think AC Milan could be a pretty decent team this season that could help Santi secure at least 18 goals, hopefully.
Wait, so you're saying 22 is crazy, but 18 is not crazy? You think it's like realistic? There's only like 4 goals apart.
But 22, that is pretty. That would be insane. But I mean, if he does it, I'd fucking be very happy. Next one, top assister.
Originally, I was gonna kind of cheat and say Chucky Lozano because this is like a Mexicans abroad, and he already has 6 assists on the season, and technically he's playing abroad in San Diego. But I'm gonna switch my answer, and I think I'm gonna go with Chino Huerta. He had a few assists last season for Anderlecht. I think this year he's a little bit more adapted. I think he'll get a lot more playing time. And he's a more creative player than he is a goal scorer, in my opinion. So I think I'm gonna go with him as a top assister.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I disagree with that as well. But I'm going to go with Rodrigo Huescas. He's been very good for Copenhagen already starting the season. They're just 2 matches away from potentially playing Champions League football. And, I mean, this guy's a right back, right wing back, pushes a lot, scores goals. I think he could have at least about 8 assists this upcoming season. That would be pretty good.
For Chino, I'm going to say around the same thing, like probably 8 to 10. That might be enough to be like the Mexican with the most abroad.
The reason I believe Huescas will have more even as a wing back is he's a lock starter. Chino Huerta is not a lock starter for Anderlecht. Next one, probably one of my favorite categories. Who will be the best young player? Who will be the best under 21 youngster?
This one's kind of tough for me. I'm going to go with the guy you just mentioned. I'm going to go with Huescas. Like you said, he's a lock starter. They're going to be playing a lot of games this season. I mean, even if they don't qualify for the Champions League, they're guaranteed Europa League. He has obviously his domestic league, the domestic cup. I feel like he's going to get a lot of game time, and he's only going to keep getting better and better. I mean, you already saw like this guy has like a strong mentality, bro. Like he forced his way to Europe. Even when he got to Europe, he got in a little bit of trouble with that whole speeding incident. Instead of me thinking, I was like, this guy that might derail like his mentality or like it might like cause him to drop off in form or be out of favor with the managers. I feel like this guy's only been better ever since that incident. Like, this guy's been cooking ever since then. And it's like this guy's scoring goals now, like and getting a lot of experience. So I think it has to be him. My other candidate would have been maybe Stefano Carrillo because he's playing in the 2nd division, and it might be a lot easier. And Mexicans are usually pretty good in the Netherlands, but I'm gonna go with Huescas.
Technically, it can be him, but Huescas turns 22 in September, I believe. So to be different, I'm going to go with Mateo Chavez. He already secured an assist for AZ Alkmaar in his first start. I think it was in the Super Cup. But yeah, I think he'll get a good amount of minutes. He does have a bit of left-back competition, but that's always very good for any player. So yeah, I'll go with the 21-year-old Mateo Chavez. He will be Mexico's starting left-back in next year's World Cup because Gallardo cannot be the starting left-back anymore. I am sick and tired of him. Next up, most improved.
I'm going to have to go with another fullback. I'm going to go with Julian Araujo. I think Julian Araujo this season, barring any injury, should be getting a lot more minutes for Bournemouth this season. And I believe he's going to have a very good season in the Prem. I think this will be like the first time in a while that he's really played like a full, since Las Palmas, that he's played maybe like a full season in Europe. Hoping he gets no injuries. And I believe if he has a good season in the Prem, I feel like that would change everyone's perspective. But like, you're doing it in the best league in the world. And right now, a lot of people are still kind of down on him. Like, not down, but they're like, he's not really like like he doesn't really have every Mexico fan like saying like, oh, this guy has to be the starter for the national team. But like if he performs well in the Prem, that will make every Mexico fan like say that. Like how can you have a guy who's starting in the Prem performing well, not being a starter in the national team? I think he's gonna have a good season and be most improved because last year again he didn't really play.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Julian Araujo as well. He needs it in his career. We just saw Bournemouth last year with him missing the majority of the season. Their left back Milos Kerkez, Dean Howson, the other center back, I don't know how to pronounce his name, and the goalie Kepa Arrizabalaga, they all got big transfers to Arsenal, Liverpool, PSG, Real Madrid. I mean, I think Araujo's going to look at that and be like, bro, like, I'm playing for a really good young team here that has eyes on us. They see that this is a team that knows how to recruit. If I could perform and do well, maybe I could go to a better team next season. So hopefully that's his mindset. And yeah, we'll be rooting for him this season.
I think also the fact that like he wants to be like starting at the World Cup, bro. This is like a big year for him. So I think that's going to be big motivation.
Exactly.
Ideally, we just said the three fullbacks in a row, like Huescas, Chavez, and Araujo. That would be perfect if all three popped off. Because like I said, I'm tired of seeing Gallardo and Jorge Sanchez starting in Gold Cup finals. Like these three guys need to be like the ones that are competing for or being the starters at the World Cup next year.
Same with Israel Reyes. I really do like Israel Reyes. He's very versatile. He can play center back and right back. But ideally, we want one of these European guys locking that position down. Like, we need that. Next one, a bit more negative. Who do you think will be the biggest disappointment?
I hate to do it, but it's more just the situation than it is the player. Like, I believe in the player, but I'm going to go with Edson Alvarez just for the simple fact that he's at West Ham, but like West Ham was rumored, like, who's their manager? Graham Potter, right?
Yep.
I saw rumors that he told Edson Alvarez, like, you're free to find a new team. And Edson Alvarez, the whole window, was rumored to find a new team. At the end, I guess he couldn't. So now he's going to be at West Ham, but like, I feel like it's already off to a bad start. Like, one, I think West Ham's going to have a bad season. And I think you agree with that as well. So they're already going to be struggling, probably conceding a lot of goals. I think that could be, he's a guy that plays more, a defensive role. That could be people pointing fingers at him and blaming him and the defenders for the reason why West Ham is sucking. And the manager already kind of hinted that he doesn't rate him. I could see him having a disappointing season. I still believe in the player. I think it's more just a situation, to be honest. Like, it would have been ideal for him to get a transfer, like, out of there, to be honest. Like, maybe, like, I know he was rumored to, like, Monaco and stuff, but... So, yeah, I'm going to go with Edson Alvarez, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think the only plus that I saw from this offseason is that they gave him the number 4 jersey. So that might mean he might be a starter, but I think Graham Potter, like you said, isn't the biggest fan of him. I've actually said West Ham might get relegated as my Premier League hot take. I just think they haven't done well in their transfers. I see a lot of Premier League fan videos. West Ham fans are just simply not happy with the ownership. A lot of fans are selling their season tickets. Just that whole morale of that team is kind of down right now. And yeah, it's more so the club and then Edson Alvarez's abilities. But that even isn't my answer for that. I think I'm going to go with Chino Huerta. I'm not the biggest Chino Huerta fan. I was very happy that he got moved to Europe from Pumas. But this guy just isn't really my ideal winger. I think he lacks IQ when it comes to like attacking. He's a pretty decent dribbler, but he sometimes seems like he's a headless chicken. No disrespect. I know many of you guys could agree with that. And if this guy doesn't get consistent minutes for Anderlecht, I'm not going to lie, he might be at Liga MX within the next 2 years. Sounds a bit harsh, but that's just the way I see it. Hopefully, he could prove me wrong. And the last one, the MVP, who will be Mexico's best player abroad this season.
I'm going to go with the guy that I said for the top goal scorer. It's going to be Santi Jimenez. I think if you're bagging 20 plus goals, I'm predicting 22 for AC Milan, a team in the Serie A. I mean, you have to be the MVP. I can't anticipate anyone else having a better season than that. He's playing at the most high profile, most like elite club out of any Mexican abroad. And if he has a fantastic season like that, I don't think it could be anybody else, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. It is going to be a lot of pressure for him, but I think he can prove himself. But let's just hope he stays fit, because he does tend to have like a few weeks throughout the year where he misses a couple games. And since he is AC Milan's only natural striker, he has to stay fit. So if all that happens, no doubt he'll be Mexico's best player abroad. A player I will make a case for, though, as well, is Johan Vasquez. He is now Genoa's captain. Patrick Vieira is in love with him. And, I mean, the performances show, man. This guy's an underrated center back, one of the best defenders in the Serie A. Now that he is the captain, we've been wanting this guy to join a bigger Serie A team or a bigger team in general. Him as the captain, he will get more eyes on him. Hopefully he can stand out, and this will be his last year at Genoa.
Yeah, I agree. I think Johan's a very good shout.
Those were our Mexican players abroad predictions. Please let us know in the comments down below if you guys have any different answers. We read all of your comments. Make sure to drop a like if you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe to Futbol Asada for the best Mexican footy content on the planet. Hit the post notifications. And any last comments?
No, I'm just hoping it's a great season. Let's pray for no injuries and lots of goals from our guys abroad. And yeah, we got to be this is the most important season and arguably like each of these guys' careers, bro. Like each of these guys' careers, they all have to pop out before the World Cup. We can't have nobody struggling if we're going to make history at the 2026 World Cup.
Yeah, if I actually think about it, this might be the biggest season in club football in my lifetime, especially for Mexico. So this will be a pretty huge World Cup, and we need our players to be as informed as possible. So we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Peace.